go, start.
All right, today we're going to learn about the fascinating principle of 80-20. What the 80-20 principle is, how to incorporate it into your real estate business, and how to focus on the one thing that will change your real estate business. Some of the benefits of this class today are going to be improved efficiency at work, time management, and prioritization of what really matters. My name is Chase Walseth of the Walseth and Lockhart team. Between our 4 locations at 4 different market centers, we do about 125 million worth of real estate business, and we help serve over 200 families a year. My father's been in real estate for 30 years. I've been in real estate for 11 years, and it is a giant and also very small family business. Without the 80-20 principle, it would be impossible to focus on the big rocks and the things that mean the most to where to pour our energy and our focus. So let's turn to page 24 in your manual. So there's one truth about the 80-20 principle, and that is it's a pattern of predictable imbalance in life. And the 80-20 principle essentially means that 20% of our activities yield 80% of our results. I'm going to give you a moment to silently read the paragraph that starts in the 1940s. Go ahead and do that now. A couple eyes looking up. What are some of the biggest takeaways from this paragraph here?
Focus is the key to great success.
Focus is the key, definitely. One more.
More than effort, experience, or natural ability.
Awesome. Very, very good. So next, I want to take a time to speak about the principle of the 80-20, the overall effect of the 80-20 principle. So this principle isn't intuitive. What that means is we feel like the more we do, the greater the results we should see. We're so busy, but what you'll really realize is the more we prioritize what we do, the more we achieve. So a professor takes this great big jar and he starts putting in these big rocks. And then he asks the class, the tallest rock is at the very top of the jar. And he asks the class, is the jar full? And some of the people say, yeah, it's full. Well, then he grabs a bucket of pebbles and he pours all the pebbles in there. And he fills that to the top. And he says, how about now, is it full? And tentatively the class kind of gets what's going on. They say, yes, it's full. Well, then he grabs some sand and he pours the sand in the bucket. And then he asks him one more time. All right, now it's definitely full, right? A couple of people say yes, other people say no. Then he grabs a pail of water and he fills it up even more. And he fills it all the way to the top. So he then asks, is the bucket full? Everybody finally says yes. He pulls out another empty jar, and it's identical to the first. More big rocks, more small rocks, more pebbles, more sand, more water. And he starts filling them in reverse. Once he fills the first one with water, he starts pouring everything else in. And then at the very end, there's no more room for the big rocks. And really the moral of this story is the big rocks have to go in first. The big rocks symbolize the 20%, what's really important in our lives and in our real estate businesses. If you spend all your time chasing the trivial things, the small things that don't matter in life, the water, the sand, even the smaller pebbles, you'll never achieve your highest priorities. So whatever your highest priorities are, you have to make sure that adequate time and space in your life to achieve them. So lastly, what we're going to do is a quick activity. I want everyone to turn to page 26. And please take a moment to answer the first question. What is one goal that you have to help you grow your business? Please write that down when you think of it. Next, I want you to list as many things as you can think of that you're doing or could be doing to make the goal you just wrote down a reality. Maybe write down 5, 6, 7 things. Once you have 4, 5, 6, 7 things written down, I want you to circle the tasks from this to-do list that are going to have the biggest impact on your goal. Maybe circle 2 or 3 of the best ones. What are some of the things that you guys have written down and circled? Jake?
Lead generate every day.
Lead generate every day. That's a big one. It's a big
That's a
circle
big
on
one.
it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anyone else?
Call
Joe?
database.
Calling database. Awesome. John?
Social media.
Social media. Good. So, of all of the tasks that you circled, what is the one thing that you can do to achieve your goals such that by doing so, everything else remains either easier or unnecessary?
Pointless.
Pointless. Awesome. Well, Eckert, one of
More calls.
More calls.
Follow
Gotcha.
calendar.
Follow your calendar. Yes, great one. Awesome. Thank you. So, I got a quick story about this, and this again, my dad is sort of my mentor. He's been in real estate for 30 years. So we had a new agent. He was just finishing up in ninth class, and one of the guys came from a marketing background, and his name is Ryan. I know he would share his name. He actually ended up joining our team later on. So Ryan, very high energy, very great individual, walks up to my dad and he says, "Hey, do you mind, can you give me some advice real quick?" He goes, "Yeah, sure." So he says, come to my office. So my dad follows him to his office. My dad is a very blunt, straightforward, to the point type of guy. Ryan says, "Can you tell me which business card you like better? Is it the red one, the blue one? Which one's better? The ones with the mountains, the one with the beach?" And my dad is just like, "Ryan, I'll tell you which one you want. I'll give you all the advice you want, but let's not focus on these trivial little things. If you just pick up the phone, don't worry about your business card. Pick up the phone, make some phone calls to your past clients, make some phone calls to your coworkers who just came from your marketing business, and everything else will fall into place. Nobody cares what your business card looks like. Nobody cares what your social media page looks like. Focus on the big things. Focus on the 20% of what's most important to you." He probably used some expletives in his, I'm not gonna do that up here. He got his point across. And Ryan always laughs and tells that story every time that he attributes things to his success, because it's so easy as real estate agents to get caught in what's the next shiny object. What's this? What's this? I need to sign up for this. I need to take this class. But if we really just focus on the things that we all just mentioned and circled big on our paper, everything else would fall into place. So today we learned about the importance of the 80-20 principle, how to incorporate it into our businesses so that our efficiency, our time management, and our priorities are all in alignment. What is the one thing you can take away from this class so that by doing so, everything else remains easier or unnecessary? Jake?
Focus on the big rocks.
Yeah, absolutely.
First.
Yeah, for sure. Anybody else?
Define the big rocks.
Fun. Awesome. Yeah, definitely. All right, thank you all so much.
9 minutes and 28 seconds.
Honestly,
fun doing it?
I did, actually.
What did you get out of taking it?
So,
I want you to
I
be
think-
honest in this
Yeah.
answer because
sure.
you're, well,
Yeah,
tell
I
them
talked to
that you
Holly this
were
morning.
a
Yeah.
skeptic.
So I talked to Holly this morning and early yesterday in the class. I'm a very skeptical person in general. I've had excellent experiences with Kelly Williams at classes, and I've also had really terrible experiences with KW classes. I was skeptical at first, I'm like, rolling my eyes, and then I don't know what the trigger was, but something you said like, participate, just trust us, participate. And so I decided to drop all my biases and really just poured into the class, and I've taken so much out of this class that I never ever thought I would, just by really pouring into it, yeah.
Wow.
I believe you're gonna look back on this class, out of all the classes you're gonna take, and this is gonna be a powerful class that you'll look back on many years and go, I am so glad I did that. Tom, we'll do.
Well, and the reason Chase is here is because he expressed an interest in teaching, and so Howard was connected us, and so, I mean, he said he wants to teach, so you see now why it's important to take this class.
Don't we wish everybody would take this class?
Right.
It needs to be an annual requirement.
Yeah.
Serious, yeah.
Just saying.
So what did you feel like you could do better? Do it over again.
Yeah, so I would have went into it with a much more open mind. And if I have the opportunity to take the next step, I'll absolutely go into that one with a wide open mind. Participate immediately. I would probably rely less on my notes, I'd be so stressed about following the script, and be myself when I'm up here presenting. It's what I do in some of the other classes I teach, and it just, that
You
shows
still
through.
follow the material though, right?
Oh, absolutely. Certainly. Just not mine.
He's a C.
But the point is, the next time you teach it, because you know the material better, you'll loosen up and you won't be.
This is the first
as
time I've
nervous.
taught
Exactly,
80/20.
exactly.
I love the 80/20 principle, I've just never taught it to anyone.
Thank you for that clarity. What do you feel like you did well?
I think my passion for the topic showed through. I think I showed, credibility. I dressed the part of a presenter. I tried to bring my volume up, a pretty quiet, small group type, presenter, but I thought I brought that up
You're kinda like Gary Keller.
a little bit.
You know, he walks into a room and he uses the microphone to
Has
his
to.
advantage, right?
Yeah.
And so, remember, the bigger the class, you might wanna use a microphone if you have a softer voice. Now, Eric, you don't need it. Some do though, right? And so just keep that in mind. Okay, opportunities, what do y'all think? Yes, Jake?
Jason, great job. Having some follow-up questions to your initial questions, I think would dig deeper and drive some of the ahs home.
That's a great observation. Yes, Melissa?
Move a little bit,
Okay.
instead of just being, you look nervous, and then you got excited talking about things, and
Sure.
then you got a little bit more, free to move.
Thank you, Melissa. Yes, Joe?
Pretty much with the movement, it'll probably help relax you a little bit too. The pitch and tone fluctuation could go well for that. That's fantastic.
Thank you. Let's go to the strengths now. Okay,
Well,
Eric?
Great credentials, great, I mean, you laid them out there, and that's wowed me, I mean, I own 4 different market centers, I mean, that's data I got in the head now. Good job.
That's a great observation. Yes, Jen?
Very specific, we're gonna read this paragraph starting with these 3 words, and we knew exactly where we were going, even on the last activity, missing very explicit instructions, so that was.
Thank you. Melissa?
The story was so on point.
I'm so worried about this.
Not right, because that's what agents do, get caught in like the minutia of what it is that we should be doing, but it doesn't matter, we don't care.
An observation. Thank you. Holly?
Good. When you were telling the story about Ryan, you finally smiled.
Right.
It was great that we read that section from MREI, however, remind the students as they're reading it to underline things, so they'll, like, we all knew it because we've done it, but just give them proper instructions on what you want from that. Let's see, don't lean on the podium, there was a time over there you were sort of, leaning on the podium.
Gotcha.
Okay, this is, I loved Ryan's story, and to plus it, is Ryan successful now?
Yes.
Okay.
Very.
What would have been great would have been to add to that, now that Ryan understands what the 20% is, not the 80%, Ryan did 2 million in his first year or something like that.
Great.
Just really, just
Yeah.
tie the bow on the story.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. Okay, everybody else has said things, all right. Clear objective and benefit, powerful intro, good paraphrase, the Big Rock story. Covered the material beautifully, did a good job with the debrief of the exercise, overall, Chase, great job.
We talked about not apologizing yesterday, remember that? And then you said, I'm sorry, and you didn't need to say that. Again, a lot of times we apologize, and if you think back when you apologize, just move on. If you forgot something, move on, don't apologize for it. Tell us the page numbers every time. Now we're gonna turn to page 8, now we're gonna turn to page 9, let's all turn to page 10, whatever. For everybody in the room, debrief the story. So you have the Big Rock story. So the way to debrief that properly would be, so as an agent, what would be 1 to 2, maybe 3 big rocks that we have? So what would y'all say? Lead generation. What would be the sand?
Designs.
Business cards, washing your lock boxes, putting signs in the yard, like stuff that other people can do, although it's necessary to be done, right? So again, I think we're kind of all missing a little bit what that means to debrief it, like go, it only takes seconds to do it, right? Remember, you're in a room and you're saying this Big Rock story, and you're telling a whole story about big rocks. How does that relate to what we do as real estate agents? What is our big rock, right? Just keep that. That voice, monotone, remember you're here, every once in a while, be like Eric, okay? Strengths, I really love the tie-in with the family, the 4 offices, with the 80-20, like there is no way we could do all of that had we not learned the 80-20, got really good at it. And then he gave his dad credit. So that's also being an ambassador. You give Gary Keller credit, you give KW credit, you give your dad credit. He dug the well. And we should do that, shouldn't we? Love that. He created a fun environment. He was an inspiration. You've got this great business. I mean, people want to look up to that. So, awesome. Good job.
Alright. Oh, Emilio, we're gonna get some energy in this one.
Emilio, just calm down. Emilio, calm down just a little bit. Just calm down. Calm down. Calm down.